We'll start now. This is Psalms chapter 58, verse 4. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear.
That's what I'm saying. That's like you see, it's talking about the people, right? But that poison that he spit to Eve is what we about to get into. You know what I'm saying? That's what chapter 3 and it's gonna go into a string of events that lead all the way up to today. You see? All right.
I had just a quick question, like, because I said it was a so-called white man, but like you couldn't really prove that, because I heard like I'm to the belief that like everybody was dark skinned back then. Everybody was like
They was.
Where would you go to prove that everybody was dark skinned?
Where do you go to prove that everybody was dark skinned?
Adam was made from the
Yeah.
dust.
Okay, come.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And the first I would say the mark that was put on Cain.
That's right.
The mark that was put on Cain was his pigment being taken
That's all
away.
spirit. That's all really through the spirit. You gotta know that.
Yeah.
You can't get that through the spirit.
Right.
That the original people were dark skinned.
What's the Hebrew word? What's the Hebrew word for ground?
Adam or Adam, right?
Adama.
Yeah.
From the earth.
But I was gonna say Genesis 25 when it was talking about Jacob and Esau, it described Esau, but why didn't it describe Jacob? Because he, that's how everybody looked, and everybody had so-called melanin.
You can't tell me you gonna put together all these minerals and ain't no color.
Right.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
It's 28 minerals inside of humans that are mainly there.
You put together a whole dude.
There's many examples in the scripture. You know, when Moses he told Moses to put a tampon in his bosom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He said it came out as white as snow.
It's like he chose me.
Nah. It's a question.
No. You gotta know.
Yeah, you gotta know.
Learning.
All right, let's keep going.
It says verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahweh power had made.
All right, now, break that down.
Well, I got the word subtle. It says, and it's coming from the MerriamDictionary.com or Merriam-Webster. It says, subtle, elusive, cunning, crafty. So, and crafty is like you basically like very witty, and it can be in a good way, the righteous side or a deceptive side. Right. So it says the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahweh power had made, and he said unto the woman, now
are the beasts of the field? You have to explain it. What is that? What does that mean?
That's basically talking about like other nations.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
These are nations of people. And Adam's line was the line that was given the ways of righteousness. Right. Now, can we prove that real quick?
Yeah.
Red. Somebody get a 2nd Esdras 3. 2nd Esdras 3. We have to establish this. It's talking about family lines. So we're going to prove real quick that Adam, what they inherited, it was oral. It wasn't written on stone, but it was the laws. 2nd Esdras 3.
3 and 10.
Read it. What it says?
It says, and it came to pass in every one of them that the death was to Adam. Oh, hold on. Let me see. No, it starts earlier. It says it's verse 5. Verse 4. O Lord, who bearest rule, thou speakest as the beginning, when thou didst plant the earth, and that they self alone, and commandest the people, and gavest a body unto Adam without soul, which was the workmanship of the hands, and did it breathe unto him the breath of life.
He breathed it unto the breath of life. What was the breath of life?
That wisdom.
There you go. The wisdom. Bam.
Come.
He didn't do this to no other nation.
Come, right.
But they were there. Go ahead.
Come. And he was made living before thee, and thou leddest him into paradise, which thy right hand had planted, before ever the earth came forward. Hey, that reminds me of the husbandman that laboreth must be first partaker of the fruits. Knowing Adam was Yahushua, it says that right hand planted it before the foundation, and then he went to eat. He was the one to be placed there.
He was the first one. He was the beginning of the line on the earth.
Right.
Upholding the ways of Yahweh. That's what that is.
Woo!
This is the record of the chosen seed coming onto the earth and supposedly ruling, but we fell.
Right.
Keep going though.
Come.
It's the point is in the next
Banger
one.
right here.
Right.
Yeah.
It says, and thou leddest him into paradise, which thy right hand had planted before ever the earth was forward. Mm-hmm. And unto him thou gavest commandment to love thy way.
Unto him, he had a commandment to love the way of the Lord. That's proof that the line of Adam, what we're dealing with is the law, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father.
That's right.
And the serpent was in opposition to that.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Genesis 2 and 7.
Yeah.
When it said, he
That's pretty much it. You
breath
got
of
it.
life and made him a living soul.
Come.
Yeah. So all of these things have to be established. You know, this is a very thorough. It's abridged because this is a lot of history. You know, it ain't one day. Serpent, here comes.
Genesis 1, 3 and 2, or 3 and 1, and to the woman, hath Yahweh said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden.
All right, what that mean?
Like this is going to like philosophy.
There you go. There you go. You know what I'm saying? That way that we just established that Adam was following that way. And Eve was his wife, right? That's what I'm saying. So she got into, and that's what this chapter is going into.
So it's basically saying like it say the philosophy of the heathen. Basically.
You know what I'm saying? I would say because the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. You know what I'm saying? Outside of Adam, everybody else he had them, but Adam was giving away that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You see, just like the elder said, the serpent was opposed to that.
Got a precept.
Go ahead.
This is Matthew chapter 3, verse 10. And now also the axe is laid unto the root of the trees. Therefore every tree which bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire.
That's what I'm saying. So the trees and the fruit, you know what I'm saying? There you go. I would say all those other philosophies, they're gonna get burned up. All the other philosophies, they don't stand up to this. You see? And that's what put us above that the most subtle beast of the field. You know what I'm saying? But Esau, he jumped, he got that with it. With the serpent, he got that with it. He wasn't Esau yet. Mind if I bring this precept out right here?
This is Ezekiel chapter 28. I'm going to start at verse 12. Likening the king of Tyrus to being the serpent, having that spirit.
Yeah.
It says, Son of man, take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyrus, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord power, Thou sealest up thy sum full of wisdom and perfect beauty. Wiser than Daniel, that wisdom on the left-hand side, that philosophy. It says, Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of the Most High. Every precious stone was thy covering, the sardius, topaz, and the diamond, and the beryl, and the onyx, and the jasper, the sapphire, the emerald, and the carbuncle, and gold. The workmanship of thy tabrets and thy pipes was prepared into thee in the day that was created.
That's what they mean by when they say the devil was over music. That's that scripture.
Yeah.
His way, basically.
Right.
His song.
I was saying then when he just named off all those stones, all those stones he just named off, that's the ones on the ephod.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
This is that being used for left hand.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
See, we can use all of these things, the sage, the frankincense,
Yeah.
but it can be used for left hand energy too.
That's
Hey,
right.
somebody get Sirach 33 and 13. It might be 14. But yeah, get Sirach 33.
Now, what did you just bring out?
Ezekiel chapter 28, starting at verse 14.
33.
Yeah, Sirach 33.
Yeah, it goes all the way down.
14. Good to sin against evil.
Yeah.
This is Sirach 33, verse 14. Good is sit against evil, and life against death. So is the...
Matter of fact, start at 13.
Okay, come, verse 13. As the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it as at his pleasure, so man is... Start 12? Okay, come.
What are we reading?
Sirach chapter 33, verse 12. Start at 10. Verse 10. And all men are from the ground, and Adam was created of earth. In much knowledge the Lord had divided them, and made their ways diverse.
Right? There you go. Made their ways diverse. You had 3 classifications of men, right? Who know the 3 classifications of men back then?
So, son of man, son
God,
son of the wicked.
There you
Sons
go.
of-
Sons of men.
Sons of God.
Which is who? Who is the sons of men?
I mean,
The 18 nations, the other nations,
There you go. Who is the son? Who's
16
the sons
other
of God?
nations.
Who's the sons of the wicked?
Esau.
That's
Right.
where that serpent came out of. It said he made our ways diverse, right?
Kenites.
You see?
Yep.
Didn't I would say wasn't our ways made diverse in the womb when we was fighting in Rebecca's womb? Two manner of people was gonna come out. This already happened. It happened here. You see? All right, let's go.
Verse 11. And much knowledge the Lord had divided them, made their ways diverse. Son of
That's what I'm saying. So the ways that Adam had was the ways he had. The ways the serpent had was the ways the serpent had. Eve got caught in the middle of that.
damn. It's like
She sold out?
Mm-hmm.
verse 12. Some of them had he blessed and exalted, and some of them had he sanctified and set near himself. But some of them had he cursed and brought low and turned out of their places.
Mm-hmm.
As the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure, so man is,
Right. Go ahead.
so man is in the hand of him that made him.
Let you know that the Lord making these. He doing what he want to do with this clay. You see? And all of this is going to play out on the earth. You see? Go ahead.
Gone, to render to them as liketh him best. Good is set against evil.
That's what I'm saying. So with that clay, he made some good and he made evil, and he set them against each other. Go ahead.
Good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly.
That's what I'm saying. Now keep in mind, life against death. Life against death. Keep that up here. Let's go back to Genesis.
Genesis 3 and 2. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yahweh has said, ye shall not eat of it.
Okay, so we already established that she ain't supposed to be getting into nothing but what Adam talking about. Right? All right, keep going.
It says, neither shall ye touch it lest ye die.
Neither shall you touch it lest you die. Right? Now, that's what I'm saying. The Lord said you're going to die if you get into all that other stuff.
Right.
Right? What the Lord say? What the Lord say go, right?
Right.
Okay. The way it was established with Adam, we done established who the Lord dealing with. We done established the opposition. All right? Keep it. Go ahead.
This is 2 Corinthians 11, and I'll start at 2. It says, for I am jealous over you with godly jealousy, for I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Hamashiach.
Okay, now what that mean?
Could you read again about Pesach?
Kind of, it says,
Call it and read it.
Yeah. This is 2 Corinthians 11 and 2. It says, for I am jealous over you with godly jealousy, for I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Hamashiach.
Well, he's jealous over his people, the Israelites, and you have to read it again. I'm gonna try to break it down as we go through.
2 Corinthians 11 and 2. It says, for I am jealous over you with godly
And
jealousy.
he's jealous over the Israelites.
Why?
Are his people? Because we're the only people he's dealing with. You know, like you said, he gave us that way.
And,
Well,
and
yeah.
what did that represent? Between the Most High and His chosen people, what is it likened into?
Like we're like his bride, his woman.
There you go.
Jealousy is the rage of a man. Like even just with a man, like if he know that his woman is dealing with another man or something, you know. And that's the same thing how the Most High feel about his people. You know, going into all of those different ways, you know. I'm gonna keep reading. It says, for I'm jealous over you with godly jealousy, for I have espoused you to one husband, that I may
And the Lord is the bride. You know, I think the bridegroom.
Yeah.
Or-
You're right.
It says that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Hamashiach. Here's the point in verse 3. It says, but I fear lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your minds should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Hamashiach.
So that's letting you know that the foundation that was laid down through Adam, it was tampered with through the serpent. That's where that opposition came from. You see? All right. Was it?
Yeah, and that's
did you
pretty
have?
much, that was just that
Okay.
opposition to the obedience of the Lord. That was the only way that they knew.
That's what I'm saying. And Eve was espoused to Adam.
Exactly.
She wasn't supposed to be dealing with nobody else. That's what I'm saying. And in the process of her dealing with another man, it don't say how they dealt, but I'm saying at least whatever he came to her with, she took it. You know what I'm saying? She accepted it.
Yeah.
You see? You know what I'm saying? Read that last line with the simplicity. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I'm saying. They already they was ruling. They was good. They had the weight. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Go ahead.
I'll read it again. 2 Corinthians 11:3. It says, "But I fear lest by any means."
Now you know this is Paul talking to the church, right? Okay. And he's making a comparison. Okay.
It says, "But I fear lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety."
That's what I'm saying. He say, I'm jealous with you. I got a godly jealousy over you. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want what happened to Eve in the garden to happen to you. Because that's when we fell. That was the beginning of the end for us, man. Go ahead.
It says, "So your minds should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Hamashiach."
That's what I'm saying, man. So the simplicity that's in Hamashiach, that's it. That's all it is.
Obedience.
That's it. You know, and when you get outside of that, all hell break loose. You had something?
You finished?
Yeah, that was it.
Yes.
Want to go back to Genesis?
I got this precept. Proverbs 23:6. Eat thou not the bread of him that hath an envious eye, an evil eye. Eat thou not the bread of him that hath an evil eye, neither desire thou his dainty meats.
That's what I'm saying. That's what happened to Eve, man. He spit something. He spit something that she thought was better.
What was that one?
Proverbs 20. It's more, brother. Let me finish this. This is Proverbs 23:6. Eat thou not the bread of him that hath an evil eye, neither desire thou his dainty meats. Showing you that this fruit that Eve is eating, basically, is philosophies, you know. It says, "For as he thinketh in his heart," this is the serpent, "so is he. Eat and drink, saith he unto thee, but his heart is not with thee."
Right.
Eat, nigga, eat this, man. Taste this shit.
Yeah.
That's what Esau does every day, bro. He's telling us to go off, bro.
Yep.
Where you with that?
Proverbs 23, I started at 6. And it says, "The morsel which thou hast eaten, which is the truth, shalt thou vomit up and lose thy sweet words."
Man.
That's a great one. That's a great one.
That's what happened.
That's what happened.
That's what happened.
Story.
That's the story.
That's what happened.
That's it.
That's why I say, bro, we in verse 2.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This one verse right here. I just want to make a point to the brother. This is 1 Timothy 2:13. It says, "For Adam was first formed in Eve, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the
That's what I'm
transgression."
saying. Adam was first formed in Eve. You know what I'm saying? When you look up Adam being first formed, it goes into that's going into him having that weight. You know what I'm saying? Then Eve came to help him out. You know what I'm saying? To be the helpmeet. You know, that's what I'm saying. The serpent didn't come to Adam, did he? He went to Eve.
Yup.
Right.
And if I could just make a point, it says, "And the woman being deceived was in the transgression." And what's transgression?
Born a transgression of the law.
Right, breaking the law.
Right.
So
Yep.
basically breaking the way that was already established. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And that's just more power to Genesis, what we finna go back to.
Con. All right, we can go back to Genesis.
Genesis 3 and 4. And the serpent said unto the woman, "Ye shall not surely die."
Stop. Go back up to the verse where the Lord said you're gonna die if you eat of it.
Verse 3.
Man.
"But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yahweh has said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die."
Here come the serpent. The next verse. The next verse. Ye shall not surely die. But that's what I'm saying, man. When it comes to homosexuality, ye should not surely die. That's what I'm saying. When you got AIDS and all these different diseases. You know what I'm saying? Fornication and adultery. Adultery. You know what I'm saying? The committing of adultery and you know what I'm saying? The everything that this place push, trans this and sexual that and all this madness. All this madness. You're not surely gonna die from that. Yes, you are, because the Lord gonna judge you for that shit. And the penalty is for it is death.
Right.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Bestiality, penalty is death. Homosexuality, penalty is death. You see? When the penalty is death, the penalty is death. It's death. You get killed for that. The Lord said I'll kill you if you do this. The Lord said I'll kill you if you do that. You know what I'm saying? Hear this nigga come. No, he won't.
It's on earth, man.
So
That's how everybody think. They don't regard the judgment of Yahweh outside.
God.
They totally eating that philosophy, man.
Yeah, the yellow.
Through.
Basically teaching our people to not have no fear of the Lord. Like ain't shit gonna happen. Do
That's
whatever
right.
you wanna do, man.
That's right. And then Jake take on that philosophy.
Yup.
They'll tell you how long they grandma ate pork and how they, you know what I'm saying? My grandma 90 years old and she still eat pork. But that's what I'm saying. She in pain. She hurting. That's what. And you see what these things do. That's what. Okay, like all of us, everybody in this room who above the age of 25. You know what I'm saying? All the aches and pains and all that type of shit that you had that you ain't supposed to be having till you way older. That's the product of all the shit that they've been pumping us up with since we was babies. You know what I'm saying? So it's only a matter of time for a seed with no grapes get a hold of your ass.
Oh man, we through.
You got to preach. Okay.
This is Psalms 10, verse 11. He has said in his heart, Yahweh has forgotten. He hideth his face. He will never see it.
That's what I'm saying. They tell you quick to the mug, man. There's no God, man. All them atheists out there and people who just don't believe. That's what I'm saying. That's how the serpent was. Man, you ain't gonna die if you do that, man. Look, I'm telling you. I got everybody else over here doing it, whatever it was. Was it more? All right.
Wherefore doeth the wicked to tempt Yahweh? He has said in his heart, thou wilt not require it.
All right, go back to Genesis.
Genesis 3 and 5. For Yahweh doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
That's what I'm saying. So, what did that mean to you? What?
So it says, for Yahweh doth know that in the day ye eat thereof. So, like basically saying, the Lord knew they was going, knew what was going to happen if they ate if they dabbled in these other,
He lied.
Come.
He straight up lied.
Come.
He straight up lied.
Also, you need to establish that eating wisdom is likened unto taking in. Eating is likened unto taking on wisdom.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Rise ye to kill and eat.
It's a bunch.
Yeah.
But what would be the main one, right? Eat this roll.
Yup.
Yep.
And then Ezra said, Lord, allow my soul to devour wisdom.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
So they, with them taking on these philosophies, they understood wickedness.
Right, they tasted of it.
They tasted of it.
I say when the Lord, the bread and the wine at the Passover.
Right.
That's taking in Yahweh, so you taking in wisdom. You know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
food.
That's right.
You see?
That's it.
That's right. Come. It says
I got a precept. This is 2 Corinthians 11, and I'll just start at 20. It says, wherefore, if ye be dead with Hamashiach from the rudiments of the world, why, as though living in the world, are ye subject to ordinances? It says, touch not, taste not, handle not. Taste not of those philosophies in those different ways. Yeah.
2 Corinthians 11 and
20. 2 Corinthians, Colossians 2, I'm tripping.
Okay.
Colossians 2 and 20 through 21.
There's a whole lot more to it. Calling the white man the devil, ain't it?
you just said verse what, 3?
No, we're at verse 5 or 6 now.
No, 5, yeah.
Yeah.
Taste.
Yeah, we're at verse 5.
And it's talking about those idols. Those ways of the world. Don't touch them. Don't taste them. Don't that way.
man, we did that shit.
We're supposed to know righteousness.
How do we do this?
Oh, that's just asked that. he said, "Oh, Adam, what hast thou done?" I feel him, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
You should have did that shit.
Oh,
He lays.
gee whiz.
There have so many ways to fall off.
So
That woman, man.
Pussy. That's
She
what
went
we
out
do.
first.
Nah, Adam went out because he should
should've
have
had
rebuked her.
her.
well, the scripture said that she went off first, though.
She did
go out first.
He
It
just followed
said that
behind.
the woman being in transgression,
She
Adam
said-
was not deceived.
Yeah,
The woman
she
was
was
deceived,
deceived.
right?
The woman deceived the man.
But Adam had his role in the whole
Exactly.
thing. Like, damn.
He's like, for real?
See, that's why we,
Like that, though.
seriously though, we need to be the ones to write a Bible
I know.
movie, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, it'd be good, bro.
Yeah.
If we was able to take this story and really
Had the resources to put it together.
spiritually just did it, bro, it'd be funny and it would be interesting.
Man.
Edifying.
Genesis 3 and 6, and when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise.
That's just like one would say, man. That's what I'm saying. That's our vices, man. They feel good, man.
Yep.
You know what's going on, but that shit feels fucking awesome, bro. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, man. What I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. This flesh, man. This flesh is a motherfucker, man.
Right.
Paul wasn't mine, man.
Romans 7 yet.
You know? I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, bro. Let's say what is Racha Rob, Bashar Ma'ite, man. More spirit, less flesh, man. That's what I'm saying. The flesh is what got us in this shit. You know what I'm saying? Read it again. Once she seen it was good for food, go ahead.
And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes,
And that it was pleasant to the eyes. That's what I'm saying, man. Food, eyes, flesh. You know what I'm saying? She got caught up. Go ahead.
and a tree to be desired to make one wise.
That's what I'm saying. He had her thinking she was gonna be smarter than Adam. You know what I'm saying? Man, the Lord knows you gonna be like a God if you fuck with what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? You fuck with me, I was saying the Lord already know that. That Lord you talking about, yeah, he already know. He kicked it, bro. You know, serpent. Shit, he hit that on. You know?
Right.
Keep going.
It says, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband.
That's what I'm saying. She went whatever she took back.
He went.
You know what I'm saying? He was cool with it too. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And he did eat.
And he did eat. So he was with it too. You see? Read on.
And the eyes of them both were open.
And the eyes of them both were open, just like the serpent told him. Just like the serpent told him. You know what I'm saying? But he told them that they wasn't. He said, "Thou shalt not surely die," and he was lying. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said, "You gonna die." He said, "No, you won't." And that started a string of events. That's a doozy. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
And the eyes of both of them, and the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons.
Okay, so how did they know they was naked? What does that mean?
Like they wasn't under that, they weren't following their way no more. You know, they weren't.
Anybody got a precept to prove that?
Oh man, it's
To prove that naked, what you say naked mean?
Like they weren't following their way anymore.
All right.
What does it mean? Prove that it means basically sin. You know, you found naked when you're sinning.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Let's see.
Let me see if I got some.
This is Exodus 23, Exodus 32 and 23. Now this is in Egypt. All right, and it says, "For they said unto me," this is Moses speaking, "Make us gods." It said, Exodus 32 and 23. "For they said unto me, Make us gods which shall go before us. For as this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not has come has become of him. So basically, they wanted to build the golden calf, right? Mm-hmm. All right. And I said unto them, whosoever hath any gold, let him break it off. So they gave it to me, and then I cast it into the fire, and their same came out this calf. Just imagine that. It says, and when Moses saw that the people were naked, the people were naked. Why were the Israelites naked right here?
Because they had went to these other idols.
The idol worship made them naked.
Yep.
It wasn't that he walked out and everybody rocked.
Yeah, it wasn't no orgy. Yeah.
They were nakedness because they went off. And then you can get that in Revelation 16.
I got a precept.
Oh, go ahead.
This is
Yeah, I say go ahead and get it. Yeah, go ahead and get it and write it down. So put it in your arsenal.
It said, for Aaron had made them naked unto their shame among their enemies.
This is Job 22 verse 5. Is not thy wickedness great and thine iniquities infinite? For thou hast taken a pledge from thy brother for naught, and stripped the naked of their clothing.
So, like, you start over?
This is Job 22 verse 5. Is not thy wickedness great and thine iniquities infinite? For thou hast taken a pledge from thy brother for naught, and stripped the naked of their clothing. That's it on that.
That's a good
What
one.
was that?
Job 22 and 5 and 6.
That's why the Lord had Isaiah walking around butt naked. You know what I'm saying? That's a symbolic representation of Israel being naked.
And they were going to be carried away captive naked into that nation that they, who I forget who it was.
That was a Assyrians, wasn't it?
It was the Assyrians. They were carried away naked too.
Oh, right.
That was a symbolic of what
Right.
happened. Yeah.
Man, the Lord is cold, man. He gonna make it physically manifest. Like, look. Wow. Man.
Jeremiah, he walked around, I forget, with I have to find it.
Yeah, with a yoke.
Yoke, yeah. Representing that you need to put yourself under the yoke of Babylon. It's written, bro. Chill.
Man.
He was high up too. Y'all don't know.
And we through, so Israel gonna be through.
Yeah.
Man.
Dope precepts.
Adam, what is y'all done? Yeah, we need to get that. You know where that's at? All right, we can keep on.
8 or something.
While y'all look for that, you can go back to Genesis.
Genesis 3 and 8. And they heard the voice of Yahweh power walking in the garden in the cool of the day.
Stop. How did they hear the voice of the Lord?
Through their conscience.
Somebody get Hebrews. Hebrews 1.
Okay.
And 1.
And then somebody hold Daniel 9 and
I got Hebrews 1.
Okay.
All right.
It says, the Most High, who at sundry times and in divers manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets.
By what?
It
Prophets.
said,
That's what I'm saying.
Because words like the prophets are symbolic of being the Lord's mouth, you know.
Meaning it was prophets back then during the time of Adam.
yep. I got a quick one.
You see?
It's a
Matter of fact, we yeah. Okay, no. We good.
Can I get a quick one back up? I just read in Hebrews. This is St. Luke 1, and I'm gonna just get to the point. St. Luke 1 and 70. It says, "As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began." So that's the mouthpiece of the Most High. It was always the prophets on the scene, man, even back then.
what's that?
That's St. Luke 1 and 70.
What was the one in Hebrews?
1 and 1.
Hebrews 1:1.
Luke 1 and 7.
Luke
70.
1 and 70.
And then what was the other one?
Hebrews 1 and 1.
And somebody read Daniel. What did I say?
This is Daniel chapter 9, verse 10. Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord our power to walk in his laws, which he has set before us by his servants the prophets.
The prophets.
What was that?
Read that again.
This is Daniel 9 and 10. Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord, our power, to walk in his laws which he set before us by his servants the prophets.
So the voice is
That's what I'm saying. And that also lets you know that the law was oral. It was being
Right.
passed down orally. You know what I'm saying?
Man. That's right. Man.
Yeah, man.
Yo. Man.
All right, keep on going.
Genesis 3, verse 8. Walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and Adam and his wife hid themselves from
Y'all know what the cool of the day is?
I remember the breakdown. I heard it.
It's the time before it go down. You know what I'm saying? Like if when the Lord always send his prophets. The Lord always send his prophets to let you know what's finna happen. The cool of the day is when he send the prophets. And then once it heat up, you know what I'm saying? You through. You know what I'm saying?
Prophet sending the word.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. And when Adam and Eve went off, the prophets let them know that they was finna go down for that. You see?
That makes sense.
You see? The cool of the day. They had it, you see? They tried to cover themselves with the leaves. You know what I'm saying? They tried to cover themselves with the leaves. They tried to run amongst the other nations. They was like, you know, all them other philosophers, they didn't know what to do. They was in panic mode. You see? The prophets was getting on their ass.
I didn't feel right.
The prophets was getting on their ass, man. You know what I'm saying? And then that's what it started a trigger. It triggered it triggered these events that lead all the way up to today. 'Cause, bro, we only in verse 8. We only in verse 8. You know what I'm saying? It's finna get way more juicy. It's finna get way more juicy. Keep reading.
Okay, so okay, the cool of the day is say that again.
The cool of the day is the time that you got to get right.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
When the prophets come and they let you know what the Lord finna do.
I see that.
You know what I'm saying? That's the cool of the day is your time to get right.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? The Lord sending his prophets out there to tell you, tell the people the transgressions.
Right. And another thing to always keep in mind is that this is a family line.
Mm-hmm.
So this is years and years of prophets probably going out, you know, telling Jake, look,
Come,
you know what I'm saying?
come.
Look, man, because Noah did
Right.
the same thing.
Right.
We at the same time right now.
He was basically a prophet amongst, and the sons of God were being wicked.
Yep.
Hey, in the margin for cool, if you got a 16:11, it says wind.
Mm-hmm.
So in the
The
verse
prophecies.
up, it says that they had them leaves and stuff. So basically, the prophets they expose everything
Yeah.
right before the Lord's judgment. The same thing.
There you go.
He blew them leaves off
Yo,
of it.
You know what I'm saying?
Just to add to
Show
what
their
Elder was saying.
nakedness.
Come.
Don't they, it's synonymous like when the judgments come, that's like in darkness, like in the noonday. Don't the scriptures talk about that as well?
They shall grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. You talking about when where it's referring to noon as the hottest point of the day.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As the hottest point of the day, meaning wartime.
Yeah, like
Yeah. Judgment. Yep.
Okay, like high noon battle. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was interesting just to back up what you said.
Yeah.
It ties together.
All right, keep
What
going.
did you just read?
I read that where it says in verse 8 in Genesis 3, where it says wind or cool of the day, it says wind in the margin. But that represents what we've been going into, the Lord's voice, those men. They exposing everything.
The word cool.
Right before the Lord judge everything, huh?
Kind of that word cool in the verse is the same word as it for spirit. Recall.
Wow.
The spirit will let them know they're going off.
Yep.
You say what
The word cool
for cool?
is the same as for spirit. Recall.
And what the scriptures say, the spirit is a wind, ain't it?
We are.
We recording it.
Word is like a moving wind or something.
Right.
I'm loosely paraphrasing.
Man.
The spirit listed too, like I'm just probably going too deep though. Like the wind.
Well, what did the Lord tell Ezekiel? Prophesy to the winds.
Right.
Yo, that vibration going out either way.
Right.
Yo.
That brother's going in right now.
Go ahead.
Verse 9. Oh, okay, it says, and Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Yahweh power amongst the trees of the garden.
All right, I want to say, the trees is referring to what?
The other nations.
Somebody get Ezekiel 31
Con.
and 8, 31 and 9.
Con.
It's gonna let you know. That's the precept to let you know that you know what I'm saying, because you got order amongst the trees. All trees ain't the same tree. You know what I'm saying? You got
precept too.
cedar trees. You know what I'm saying? The cedar tree. I want to say the cedar. Somebody read the precept in Ezekiel.
This is Ezekiel chapter 31, verse 9. I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches, so that all the trees of Eden that were in the garden of the Most High envied him.
Mm-hmm. All the tree. I would say, can a tree be envious? A tree can't feel a certain type of way about another tree. You know what I'm saying? But we done already liken people to animals. We done already liken the word to food. You see? All right, go ahead. What you
Trees
got?
do communicate though.
Well, yeah.
That was Ezekiel 31 and 9.
Like if another tree is trying to build on another tree and he's trying to get to the sun, so they'll climb on top of each other.
Yeah.
So they do technically.
Good.
But in this sense, it's
Right.
dealing with men.
Mm-hmm.
The trees are likened unto men, the other nations.
And then what's that? Is that Deuteronomy
20.
Get it?
Ah, my
Get
bad. I was looking for that one.
God.
This is Matthew chapter 8, Mark chapter 8, all right, and 23. And he took the blind man by the hand and led him out of the town. And when he had spit on his eyes and put his hands upon him, he asked him if he saw aught. And he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking.
Man, what's that?
Mark 8 and 23 through 24.
8 and 23. I have one too.
Come.
This is St. Edris 5, and I started at 23. And said, O Yahweh, thou bearest rule over every wood on the earth, and of all the trees thereof thou hast chosen thee one only vine.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, man.
Goodness gracious.
Second Ezra 5 and 23.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good
That's what I'm saying, and that's going into a list of the Lord's favorite things, man.
You got it.
And even in
So
Isaiah
if they ain't got a
4.
precept, tell them they got to call back.
So that's the thing. Ain't nobody really go through the Bible like this.
Yeah, Isaiah 14 it says, yeah, even thy fir trees shall rejoice. That's twofold.
No, that's what I'm saying. The olive branch, the olive tree, that's what I'm saying. All right, keep going.
Come on. Verse 9. And Yahweh power called unto Adam and said unto him, Where art thou?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden,
Mm-hmm.
and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, Who told thee that thou was naked?
That's what I'm saying. So now the Lord investigating, man. I was saying, oh, what's up? You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, man, the prophets was hot.
Woo!
Oh,
Damn. So that's how you know it's talking about the prophets and not.
bro, this is the visitation, bro. You know what I'm saying?
God, wow.
See?
Woo!
You see how? That's what I'm saying, man. The prophets have always been there.
Right.
That's what I'm saying, and that's
Man.
letting you know it go all the way back to it just not being just two people on the planet. That's what I'm saying. It was a world.
Right.
It was a world, man. Sons of Most High, sons of God, they was living. Y'all about to shop
Man,
You know they lived, man.
yeah.
You see?
Man, bro. That's dope. That's dope.
Shalom. Y'all about to shop
Hey, Shalom Maki, how was your Man, that's dope.
Where we at? Anybody was anybody holding the precept, or we going back to Genesis?
Read that again, what you just read.
Verse 9. And Yahweh power called unto Adam and said unto him, Where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, Who told thee that thou was naked?
That's what I'm saying. So what is it? So what is that going back to? What is he asking him about?
Going to eating them other philosophies.
That's what I'm saying. That is we gonna keep going. But that's what I'm saying. When I told you that Eve got caught up between Adam and the serpent, that's what this is about.
because this line of people had to keep this way.
Mm-hmm.
This was the way.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yep.
can't. You ain't. So how the hell you? It wasn't supposed to know any other way.
Right.
We wasn't supposed to know evil like that. We were supposed to only know right.
Yep.
So he was like, how the hell you know? I thought you was only supposed to go be good.
Yep. I want to say, and you got to keep in mind, bro, this is before Cain and Abel and all that.
Mm-hmm.
This is before all that. So it wasn't no two people on the planet, bro.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So it's two people and a snake. Two people, a snake and an apple. Started all this shit.
Now, how do you prove that? Prove that it wasn't just two people, just Adam and Eve.
Genesis 5.
There you go.
You know what I'm talking about?
And then another logic you use is, how did Cain get a wife?
Right. Right.
Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel are Adam and Eve's children, but Cain went and got a wife.
Right.
Yeah.
And also,
And on down, Lamech had many wives. He was singing to his wife. Go ahead.
I think when Cain, when he got the mark on him, he said, "How I'm gonna go out and someone will kill me." He said,
Right,
Right.
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 Who was gonna kill me? Was just
There you go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Big mouse.
Man.
No, man. Angry ass nigga back then.
You know what I'm talking about? Tripping. Niggas was tripping way back then. Shit.
Niggas been tripping, bro.
Tripping.
Human beings are the problem, bro.
Yeah.
They're the problem, bro. They're very irritating.
Yep. Man, there was a chick at my job told me, she said something the other day. She said people are really bad at being themselves. I said, yeah, they are. Let's go.
Can I ask a question?
Well, they're bad at being humans. They're
Yeah.
bad at- because that is themselves, man. No, they're good at being the piece of shit that they are. But they're horrible at being, like,
Man.
righteous.
Oh boy. What's your question, bro?
It says in verse 8, it says, "And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord power."
What's that in Ezekiel 18?
What?
The precept where Adam hid amongst the other nations?
31.
You read it already?
Yeah. You can go back to it. We can read all of it.
Yeah, read that again.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, is it talking about the prophets? Like they went away from the prophets.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say the prophets was get on their ass and they was trying to get away from it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And amongst the other nations, it wasn't no prophets.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they was trying to, get away from getting cussed out.
And you had prophets amongst the other nations.
There
most
you go.
likely, back then.
Mm-hmm. Because that's what I'm saying. They thought they was gonna get away by hiding amongst the other nations, but they was getting cussed out there too. You see, wherever they was going, they was getting cursed the fuck out. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Yeah, they couldn't get around it. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it. The Lord chose Adam and said, "This is gonna be my way. I'm gonna deal with y'all," and they did something else. He had an attitude. That was that godly jealousy that we talked about earlier. You see it. You see it. You can't run. No.
That's the next verse.
Yeah.
I heard that voice.
Can I get real quick?
Come.
Wisdom of Solomon 2:23. For the Most High created man to be immortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity.
That's what I'm saying. We blew it.
Yeah, I was about to say.
We blew it. Go ahead.
Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do
That was
harm-
how you gonna envy the devil? How you gonna
Hey,
envy the devil?
that's a precept. Through envy of the devil.
You know what I'm saying? How you envy the devil? I set you up to be immortal. I set you up to where you was gonna live forever, and you wanna die?
It says that exactly in the precept that I'm gonna get. But go ahead and keep explaining it.
Yeah.
They that do hold on his side to find it. So that was it.
That's what I'm saying, man. The Lord had a plan. He had a plan. He was like, "Come on, man." That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna set y'all up. That's what I'm saying. Bro? Deuteronomy 28, 1-14, balling, baller status. I want to make y'all ballers. I want y'all to rule. What you think I made the earth for? I made the earth for your sake. I'm good. Nigga. I built the earth so y'all can have something to do.
Yeah, I got a precept. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2.
I got one too.
23. For God created man to be immortal
Mm-hmm.
and made him to be an image of his own eternity.
Right.
Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world.
There we go, man. There we go.
And they that do hold of his side do find it death.
There you
You
go.
hold on to that way, it's led unto death. The only way out is order. The Lord's way is the most lucrative. It's the best way for the earth.
Come.
You know what I'm saying? Nothing else is. Everything has been tried, bro.
I said we ready to Sirach 33, man. Good was set against evil and life against death, man. That's what I'm saying. Life was set against death in the garden. Way back then, man. Way back then. And death won that round.
Right. So we need to break down that Ezekiel 31.
Yeah. Go back to that.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we didn't finish it.
That's right. This Ezekiel chapter 31. Let's see here. Read verse 9 again. And it says, I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches, so that all the trees of Eden.
Go up. Read up. See if it read up. Yeah, see if we can find a better starting point.
You can start from the top.
Okay.
Yeah. Start at the top.
This Ezekiel chapter 31, verse 1. And it came to pass in the 11th year, in the 3rd month, in the 1st day of the month, that the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, speaking to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and to his multitude, whom art thou like thy greatness? Behold, the Assyrian was a cedar in Lebanon, with fair branches, and with a shadowing shroud, and of his stature, and his top was among the thick boughs. The waters made him great, the deep set him up on high, with her rivers running round about the plants, and sent out her little rivers into all the trees of the field. Man, bro. You know, that water is symbolic to philosophy as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that river, you know, that he said the Assyrian was that cedar tree. You know, he was the ruler. Those ways that spread to everybody else.
Right.
You know?
Right. They were pushing their philosophy.
Right.
These Canaanites, man, these Hamites, these Cushite, they were into some bullshit. Mm-hmm. Those were the original freaky.
Right.
Like, them niggas was nasty, bro. The
Yeah.
Hamites, that's why the Lord created the laws. He had to write it down when Jake was amongst them Hamites. Like, look,
Right.
now we here. I'm gonna write this down for you. But them niggas was tripping, bro.
I'm telling you, man, he moved the finish line.
But you gotta think. This time is around that area, you know, the chosen land. But then you had these different areas, you know, Mesopotamia and all of that, and that was pretty much the mother of idol worship,
Right.
man. Sumer,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Because the understanding of the Most High, the chosen people was always in earth, but you always had these other philosophies, man. They were always, and that was the pretty much cusp of the beginning. That was the first anti-Messiah, the first, you know, so-called New World, under Nimrod and all of that.
Right.
That was the ancient Babylon.
Right.
That's right. And they all came with one consent to basically come together. And that's the same vibration that the so-called white man is pushing.
Right. Same thing.
Right.
Come all together. There is no right or wrong. There's no constraint.
This is the new Sodom and Egypt. Who was those? Those were Canaanites. You know what I'm saying? So these different nations were there. You know, they were going off. They was pushing that shit back then. Just like the Assyrian here. Go ahead.
Come. This is Ezekiel chapter 31, verse 6. All the fowls of heaven made their nest in his boughs, the beasts, and under his branches, as all the beasts of the field bring forth their young, and under his shadow dwelt all great nations.
That's what I'm saying, man.
They come
That's
together.
what I'm saying.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I would say that was the sons of God dealing amongst men on earth. That's the same thing it is today. Same thing it is today, man. Just like we'll go into a Walmart and buy something, man. We was dealing with them heathens back then. You know what I'm saying? You go get them tacos that we loved so much. They was dealing with them back then, man. Same thing. You have to wrap your mind around that.
Yeah.
Nothing new under the sun.
Different cultures.
Right.
But we would go eat that food. You
You know what I'm
Just go
saying?
Eat that food.
That's what I'm saying. We always dealt. That's what they always been there. We always been here.
Right.
You see, nothing new under the sun means they go all the way back to the end.
Right. And this is very important in the understanding of this story, man. You have to understand this.
God.
To understand the Bible, I believe that this is you have to ingest this, man.
That's right.
Right.
In that verse, it has Daniel 4. And if you go to Daniel 4, it says, Nebuchadnezzar the king unto all the people and nations and language that dwell in all the earth. You know what I'm saying? Because they were under him. You know what I'm saying? Like, just giving that example. You know, I'm not saying that it's talking about.
Right.
Yeah, because it's, I mean, the Babylonian Empire came from the Syrian Empire. It's practically the same people that came.
I was saying,
absolutely.
Think about it. I said, think about it like this. Okay, you had Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, right? And they was riding with Daniel, but they was high up.
No, this is.
What about the niggas that had to go to work in the morning? They was around. You see, it was Israelites that when they said, when we play this song, y'all gonna bow down to that was everything that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego didn't do. It was niggas doing it.
Niggas doing it. Just like Noah, at the time of Noah, the sons of God.
See?
He wasn't doing it. He walked with the Most High. Mm-hmm. The sons of God were going off into the philosophies of the other nations.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing.
Right.
That's what, bro, Noah was prophesying for a long time.
Yep.
What you think he was talking about? He was showing his people their transgressions, man.
That flood, yep. Because they called him a preacher of righteousness.
Same thing.
Oh, my goodness. That's a lesson.
Same thing. You know what I'm saying? And they thought Noah was off his rocker, just like they think Yasha Wamba is Zombie Wamba. All right, let's keep where we leave off at.
This is Ezekiel chapter 31,
Yeah.
verse 7. It says, thus was he fair in his greatness, in the length of his branches.
Did we ever get that in Deuteronomy?
Oh, no. That's,
Yeah.
I had it held. I turned from it.
No. I'll say when you finish
tripping.
that and then go back to back it up.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, finish
Gotcha.
where you was at.
All right. So this is Ezekiel chapter 31. Jump back to where I left off at. All right, this is
That boy quick with it.
verse 7.
Man.
Thus was he fair in his greatness, in the length of his branches, for his root was by great waters. The cedars in the gardens of the Most High.
I was saying now you know I would say you know that a tree that's near water is better than a tree that's not by water, right? You know what I'm saying? That water, that flow, that understanding, that's what I'm saying. That's what made Adam better than it. That's what made him the best tree out of all the trees. You see where he was placed. You see that whole Fertile Crescent. When you look at the map and all that, it's all surrounded by water, right? You know what I'm saying? That's what made us that tree. You see, that was the ways that the Lord was giving us. Go ahead.
The fir trees were not like the boughs, and the chestnut trees were not like the branches.
That's what I'm saying. You see the different trees that they name it. It's different nations. It's different
Right.
people. You know what I'm saying? These people wasn't as this one. But it's all talking about people. Go ahead.
Not any tree in the garden of the Most High was like unto him in his beauty.
That's what I'm saying, man. He was separate. Now
verse
go back
8.
to Deuteronomy,
This is
and then
8.
we're going to come back to that.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 20, and I'm going to read this in verse Salakia. I just had it right here. Yeah. This is Deuteronomy 20 and 19. When thou should besiege a city a long time in making war against it to take it, thou should not destroy the trees thereof by forcing an axe against them, for thou mayest eat of them, and thou shalt not cut them down, for the tree of the field is man's life, to employ them in the siege.
Yeah, that's a law, basically. When you go into particular places, you don't cut down particular trees.
I thought she was going. No, I was going to the one where it's talking about the nation's gonna look at you.
Oh, Salakia.
That's what I was thinking.
Isaiah 14? What?
No,
Deuteronomy 4.
it's one in Exodus where it's talking about. In Deuteronomy.
32 and 8.
Yeah. That.
Okay,
That,
okay.
That's what I was looking for.
Salakia.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to go to.
Maybe that did say trees.
Yeah.
Nah, my bad, man. I thought he saw.
32 and 8.
Trees. You know,
The sons of Adam.
Yeah. That's what I was separating the sons of Adam.
No, I don't.
Man.
Okay.
Say 32.
Oh, I got it right. Yeah, okay. This is Deuteronomy 32 and 8. When the Most High divided the nations their inheritance, When he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And that and the reason I want to bring that out is because that tree is what the Lord was representing in Ezekiel 31. He made that tree different from all the other ones. He made that tree better than all the other ones. You see? Comparing people to trees.
Right.
He made Israel better than all the other nations, right?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. There go the correlation.
Come.
So, all right, let's go back to Genesis. We can go back to Genesis now.
Genesis 3.
Cedar trees go hard too.
Yeah.
They got a lot of benefits.
They go hard.
You can do a lot with a cedar tree.
Oh wait,
Essential oil.
in Jeremiah the 11th chapter, it compares Israel to a cedar tree.
What?
Get it.
Jeremiah what?
Get it.
Jeremiah 11,
We ain't playing no game.
starting at verse 16, it says, "The Lord called thy name a green." Oh, my
Yeah,
bad,
I
olive
know that.
tree. It's an olive tree.
But you are right though. Ezekiel 17 compares Israel to a cedar to a cedar tree.
Cedar trees are always the ones that get tall. I seen a lot out there on the west
There you go.
coast.
That's
Tall.
No, I mean, in the
Tall as
summer.
hell, man.
In the summer, that's good for sore muscles.
Okay, come on. This is Jeremiah 11 and 16. "The Lord called thy name a green olive tree, fair and of goodly fruit." You know what I'm saying? "With the noise of a great tumult, he had kindled fire upon it." You know what I'm saying? Because he was angry at the nation of Israel for going off.
And that's why. Who you at 16?
16, verse 16, yeah. Jeremiah 11 and 16.
Yeah, and that's how you know that that olive tree is talking and the branches is talking about us because we were separated from the Most High for not following His will. He set a fire on it, on the tree. The branches broke off.
And there will be no way we can go. It was something like he set a fire around about it, so we couldn't attain it. We couldn't get it back.
Right.
I forget how it was written, but we'll keep reading.
Would you read
Okay.
that?
Yeah, that's a quick
that's
one,
a
too.
cut to that.
Jeremiah
What he
11
write- what
16.
What did he try to bring out? Old boy T.D. Jakes tried to bring out. What's that? Romans the 11th chapter.
Yeah.
That's a
Oh,
cut.
yeah.
What's the cut?
Oh.
That Jeremiah the 11th chapter.
Read it again.
Read it again.
Jeremiah 11 and 16. "The Lord called thy name a green olive tree, fair and of goodly fruit. With the noise of a great tumult, he had kindled fire upon it, and the branches of it are
That's
broken."
it. What?
The branches of it did what?
The branches of it are broken.
The branches of it are broken.
That's the.
I said the branches that was already there.
What's that?
Were broken.
That's Jeremiah 11 and 16.
11 and 16.
Yeah.
Just read that.
Yeah. That was dope. Mind if I bring a quick one out? This is Ezekiel chapter 17, verse 23. "In the mountain of the height of Israel will I plant it, and it shall bring forth boughs and bear fruit, and be a goodly cedar. And upon it shall dwell all fowls of every wing. In the shadows of the branches thereof shall they dwell. And the trees of the field shall know that I, Yahweh, have brought down the high tree." That particular high tree is going into Esau.
What do you read?
Ezekiel 17, I'm in verse 23 and 24.
Read it again.
Come. Ezekiel 17 and 23. "In the mountain of the height of Israel will I plant it, and it shall bring forth boughs and bear fruit, and be a goodly cedar. And under it shall dwell all fowl of every wing. In the shadow of the branches thereof shall they dwell. And all the trees of the field shall know that I, Yahweh, have brought down the high tree," which is Esau.
That's what I'm saying. And they shall know that I am the Lord.
Ezekiel what?
17, 23, and 24.
Keep going.
God, "I, the Lord, Yahweh, have brought down the high tree, and have exalted the low tree, have dried up the green tree, and made the dry tree to flourish. I, Yahweh, have spoken and have done it."
So when he took us down,
Yeah, well, this is going to when he exalts us back up and takes Esau down.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Talking people. Talking about people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Trees. You got to be spiritual. The Bible, you have to be spiritual.
Right.
It forces you. If you don't get it, you know. Can't be emotional either.
Man, you know what I'm saying? And just think about the prophets back then. The prophets back then during the time of Adam, what was they reading from? They was just,
Right.
that's what I'm
They
saying.
was going.
That's what I'm saying. It was in them. It
That's
was
how
in
it's
them,
supposed to
and they
be.
was seeing
Right.
wickedness.
Right.
It was in them, and they was seeing wickedness, and they was getting on people.
That's why it was a paradise.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
And they seen that them people was messing up paradise, man. They was like, what the fuck, man?
Trying to get back to
Man,
paradise.
they was getting on.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
All right, we going back to Genesis.
Yeah, man.
God.
We going back to Genesis.
Genesis
Genesis 3:11.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "Who told thee that thou wast naked?
The prophets. Go ahead.
Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat?"
Mm-hmm.
And the man said, "The woman whom thou gavest to be with me."
That's what I'm saying. Adam was like, shit, you gave me the woman, man. He was like, shit, I was counting sheep.
That's true.
He said, I was counting sheep, man. You gave me the woman that shit. She did that shit. Go ahead.
It says, "She gave me of the tree."
And just think about that as a national thing, like as a generational thing. Jacob probably cursing out their women, like bitches went up, just like we do.
Yeah.
But we still have our sin. We can't just blame it on Eve, bro.
Right,
Yep.
right.
Like we still, the woman did go off, and she go get rebuked, but they will probably, it's the same thing all over again, because we cursing our women out,
Right.
blaming Eve. You know what I'm saying? We are.
Damn.
We're still doing that to this day.
Yeah.
She's still, yeah.
Because this, remember, I mean, of course, this is a story, Adam and Eve, but you got to think these are nations of people.
Right.
Yep.
This is really a long story of Israel, the chosen line going off.
That's right.
Oh,
Damn.
Keep going.
okay. It says, "And I did eat." Verse 13. "And Yahweh power said unto the woman, What is this that thou hast done?"
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. So, how you even? You supposed to be quiet. How you? I should even. Really?
What's that, Timothy?
What you do?
Timothy
You know?
2:13.
What you do, man?
Like, what's going on here? Look at this mess you made.
It's a sweet Christmas.
Oh
Sweet
man.
Hanukkah. Sweet Hanukkah.
Oh man, it's 2 Timothy 2:12.
Yup, here you go. This is 1 Timothy 2. This is first. 1
Oh my bad.
Timothy 2.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna start at 13. It says, "For Adam was first formed, then Eve.
Okay.
And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived."
That's what I'm saying. You think Adam didn't see all that shit that was going on? He wasn't bothered by it one bit. Shit, he was like, shit, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm good. You know? So Adam didn't bite. You know what I'm saying? They had to use his woman to get to him. Go ahead.
Kind of, I read 1 Timothy 2:13. And it
That's what I said,
says,
bro. Every movie you'd have never seen where the kingpin got took down by his woman.
Bitch fucking up.
Go all the way back to that.
That's right.
Go all the way back to that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. A motherfucker that ain't got nothing to do with you can convince you that paradise ain't good enough. Only a woman can fall for that shit.
God damn. And they hold to that. Order is really, because when you look at the overall story of Adam and Eve, man should listen to the Most High and be obedient to his way, and woman should listen to her man that is passed down. And that's a defense that cannot be penetrated if it's put in place the right way.
Mm-hmm.
I did a lesson on that.
That's what I'm saying. That's why
Very important.
and that's why the serpent works so hard to bust that up.
It's a very important order, man.
It's mentioned earlier in the chapter. You know what
Bring
I'm saying?
bring it out.
And then verse 11, it says, "Let the woman learn sounds without subjection, but I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man."
That's what I'm saying. Why? Because of that.
Yep.
Because of that. Read it again.
But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp
That was,
authority.
I don't allow women to teach, nor usurp authority over the man, because why are we going to have a flood and a second death?
Shit, we don't have a second down.
A lot of people going to have to die because of that. That's why we don't let women teach.
That was only for that time.
Too many people got to damn die.
That's how they explain it too. You gotta understand what's going on in Korea, the church of Korea.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah, which is advice we should take for the Church of Babylon and the Great here in Babylon. It's the same we ought to take it
Yep.
place.
Somebody was
I got it.
I'm gonna read that.
Yeah.
I mean, you was reading it, but I'll just read that
Yeah.
verse we was on. This is in verse 14. It says, "And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression."
Mm-hmm.
What is that? First Timothy 2?
2 and 14. Yep. And that's the point that the elder was making. You know what I'm saying? Technically, Adam, he was trying to basically, what's the word I'm looking to? Like, like made his defense to the Lord. He's like, this is the woman you gave me, and technically she did go off, but he said I did eat too. He was honest, you know.
Yep.
But Adam was not deceived. It said it. The woman was deceived and was in the transgression.
You like, I tried it, but shit.
But I didn't do it first. I didn't do it. She did that shit.
He was like, yeah, I tried it, but shit, I was chilling before she came, Lord.
Really? I didn't even like her.
You gave it to me.
You had something to show off?
Con. This is Sirach chapter, let's see here, it's chapter 25, verse 24. And it reads, of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all died.
That's what I'm saying. You can't get around that, man. But that's what I'm saying. They put that in the Apocrypha.
What is that?
Sirach 20, 25 and 24.
That's in the Apocrypha. You know what I'm saying?
Sirach 25
I
and
did
20.
listen to
24.
This week. It's going on. All these scriptures too.
You know what I'm saying?
Sirach 25.
And 24.
So they could take that scripture. We could bring that scripture. That ain't even a part of the Bible, nigga. But yes, it is, and that's what happened.
Look at the fruits of it. Look
You
at
could-
the fruits of sin, man. It's really.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why Genesis chapter 3 is so important, man, to get the understanding of that, man.
Right.
Sin
You know what I'm saying?
is
That you looking at the world today through that. Let's keep reading.
Come. It
Was you
says-
know?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
Verse 13, and Yahweh power said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat.
That's what I'm saying. She was even straight up. She knew she couldn't lie at that point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She was like, shit, man, he got me. He got me. You know what I'm saying? I ate of the fruit.
Eve means lively, so our women were the shit, and the servant went and got them.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Still
Just imagine how beautiful they were.
You know?
This shit's annoying, bro.
Go ahead.
And Yahweh power said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this.
Now that's what I'm saying. Now you notice. Now you notice. I want y'all to take notice. The Lord is finna get on all the asses. He finna get on Adam. He finna get on Eve. He finna get on the serpent. Like I said, this event triggered what you looking at today, man.
I
right.
got you real quick.
Come.
Second Esdras 7 and 48. Oh, Adam, what hast thou done? For though it was thou that sinned, thou art not fallen alone, but we all that come after thee.
That's what I'm saying,
Second
man.
Esdras 7 and 48.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't just you, Adam. We still suffering to this day. You know what I'm saying? And then when you go get 1 Corinthians chapter 15, what's that? 1 Corinthians 15, when going to Adam being earthy and going in, that's a whole another topic that you can get into off this subject, man. Because it going to the fall of Adam, but it going to the rise of the Lord, man. But we gonna hold that.
48.
But we gonna hold that. You know what I'm saying? Read that again, Elder.
Second Esdras chapter 7 and 48. Oh, Adam, what hast thou done? For though it was thou that sinned, thou art not fallen alone, but we all that come of thee.
That's what I'm saying, man. The fall of Adam happened all the way back then, man. And to this day, you know what I'm saying? When the Lord come back and not meeting these people as a man, it's gonna culminate all the way up to that. You see?
I got a quick precept.
Come on.
Romans chapter 5, verse 12. Wherefore, as by one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin, and so death passed upon all men.
That's going back all the way to then. Read that again, Brother Baba Shot.
John, it says, wherefore, as by one man sin entered into the world.
One man, by one man. By one man. That's what I'm saying. Adam. That's what I'm saying. Because he was the only one that was given their way to go up, to not go off. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else was everybody else. But Adam was the first man that came into the world and went against, you know what I'm saying? Went against that through that whole situation in Genesis chapter 3. Go ahead.
This also, if I could say, proves reincarnation is in the Bible
I
for these
was
so-called
thinking that
Christians.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I'm
You
trying
know,
to
you
see
read
that.
that.
Yep. Go ahead.
It says, wherefore, as by one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin, and so death passed upon all men, for that all have sinned.
Mm-hmm.
For unto the law sin was in the world, but sin is not imputed when there is no law. Nevertheless, death reigned from Adam to Moses, even over them that had not sinned after the similitude of Adam's transgression, who is the figure of him that was to come. Who never proves that he's Yahushua.
Right.
Right. Yep.
It says, but not as the offense, so also is the free gift. For if through the offense of one many be dead, much more the grace of Yahweh and the gift by grace, which is by one man, Yahushua Mashiach, hath abounded unto many. And not as it was by one that sinned, so is the gift. For the judgment was by one to condemnation, but the free gift is of many offenses unto justification. For if by one man's offense death reigned by one, much more they which receive abundance of grace and of gift of righteousness shall reign in life by one, Yahushua Mashiach.
The same man, the same person. You know what I'm saying? The same spirit.
What is that?
That's Romans
5.
12.
You started at 12.
Read down.
Romans
I
5
forgot
and
about
12?
that one. Yeah, you start at 12 and just read all the way down to like 17 or 18?
Yeah, 18.
About 20.
And you can just read all the way down, and then you gonna let your hair blow out, man. That's dope. That's one of my favorite ones. I forgot about that one.
Was that it on that side note?
That's it on that.
All right, let's go back to Genesis.
It says
Read it, Baba Kushan.
Genesis 3 and 14. And Yahweh power said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat.
All right, what does that mean?
Upon thy belly.
Start at the top of the verse.
Okay, Con. And Yahweh power said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field.
Now keep in mind, earlier he was saying he was more subtle than every beast of the field. Now what is he saying?
It says thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. And you know, like the beast is represent symbolic of these other nations. It says, upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat. So
What that mean?
dust represents confusion,
Right.
and like on your belly is they going like to a lower state.
There you go. There you go.
The basis of men.
That's
That's
Somebody
right.
look up that word,
Con.
basis of men, in that chapter.
Yep.
The
Daniel
Lord.
4.
Yeah, Daniel 4.
And then did it say the curse of Cain when he got hit with that mark of leprosy?
This is, somebody got that? Basis, he give it to the basis of men.
I got it.
Okay.
I want somebody to get it on the blue letter too.
Okay.
Okay. Here, I got it right here. This is
Yeah, on your belly mean he's gonna be a low person, man. But he's still gonna have those qualities of the serpent.
Yeah, he's still gonna be subtle,
Right.
but he just gonna be
He's still gonna be like a real
he gonna be devious as fuck.
but he's a low. When you really look at Esau,
Yeah.
they're low,
No integrity, no honor, no nothing.
nasty.
You know what I'm saying?
Very nasty. Bro.
Nigga won't even get a fucking loofah.
Can I get a one while he getting that?
Go ahead.
This is Genesis 4 and 10. It says, I'll start at 9. Genesis 4 and 9. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper?
Right.
And he said, what hast thou done?
That's a very asshole statement. Too.
Yeah, shit. Yeah.
I'm like, what? Am I my brother's keeper now?
Especially after you just killed him.
Yeah.
This the line of the serpent. This the line of the serpent.
You know exactly where he at.
That's the sentiment of the white man. Get over it. God.
This the line of the serpent.
Slavery happened. It's over.
That's right.
That's the white man.
That's right. It says, verse 10, and he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood cried unto me from the ground. Verse 11, it says, and now art thou cursed from the earth, which had opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. So that's the curse of Cain. And that's from the same line of the serpent, Cain. Genesis 4, and I started at 9 through 11.
all right. This is the word basis in the Hebrew, and that word is Daniel 4 and 17, and that word is shapal, and it says low or lowliest. Let's see, and then when you go into the root, it says to be or bring low to humble, to bring low to humble.
Right. What is it, Daniel? What was that, Daniel?
4 and 17.
Right. I have this. It's Job 30 and 8.
Yep.
They were children of fools. They were children of base men. They were valid in the earth. So the curse is being put on this nation, this seed. When you on the earth, you gonna be through.
Yup, and if I could just say this, Esau, he's cursed among all the beasts, like it said in Genesis.
Right.
He's he the only nation that don't got no pigment out of
Think
all the
about
people.
this. Get that back in Genesis 4 when it goes to Cain, how he was cursed from the earth. What does that mean?
That mark.
That mark, the
Yeah.
earth don't fuck with
Man,
Esau,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Read it.
Yeah.
Get it. You got something?
I was actually on Genesis, Job 30 when you was reading, but
It's time.
you go up, yeah, go up a little.
Yeah.
Well, you can actually start at one, but you
Yeah,
just
that
go
whole
a little
chapter.
further. On verse 5, it says, "They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief, to dwell in the clefts of the valleys, in caves of the earth, and in the rocks." And one thing when you think about that, I was thinking about how Cain, when he basically, told Cain, he pushed Cain out, out of Eden, and Cain was like, who's seen me gonna slew me, so that curse goes upon, like you say, the Edomites, on Esau, dealing with he was dwelling in the cave,
That's right.
Yeah.
But after the flood, I guess then bring forth that seed again was through Abraham, Isaac, and Esau.
Yeah, it's funny how that happened multiple times. You know what I'm saying? During the time of the Byzantine Empire, you know what I'm saying, it started with Septimius Severus and all them, pushed those Edomites into the caves.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
we got our answer for vocab
Caucasian
alone, Elder. Because remember he was asking on the comment, like, how do y'all know who the Edomites are? Something to that
That's
effect.
that's
We through all of these different situations, man, it's the same
Right.
spirit.
Yeah.
You know?
Come. That's real talk. Man.
Shit, that's a lesson.
Yeah.
Boy, this.
And then all the
Can't wait to
people
hear
we
this
added
again.
that. So we got
Yeah.
a lot this week, man.
Man, I got so many.
I know that's what I'm saying.
Y'all been scribing. Yeah,
That's me too. We gonna bang out, Lord willing, man.
All right, let's go back to Genesis.
Genesis 3:15. It says, okay, I didn't finish it. It says, "And thus shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed."
All right, stop right there. What that mean?
So enmity is basically like a tension,
Beef.
Okay.
Okay, now the seeds. The woman carry seed?
No, the man carries the seed.
Okay, read the verse again.
It says, "I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed."
What do that mean?
The woman.
Somebody
is
get revelation.
Yeah, the woman is representative of Israel.
Right.
It says, "So, and I will put enmity between thee." So the race that bears the spirit of Cain, which is the Edomites.
Came back as who?
Esau.
There you go.
Come.
I got it.
And
So that enmity played out.
Mm-hmm.
Even at the time of Cain and Abel, he slew them.
Yep.
They were fighting in the womb.
Yep.
So that enmity is even today.
That's what I'm saying, because you got to keep in mind, this happened before Cain and Abel.
It kept happening.
This happened before Cain and Abel. That's what I'm saying. So when the Lord was giving out His judgment, it started back then.
All the way
Read what you got.
all the way to Genesis 25th chapter. You know, the children struggled in the womb.
That's what I'm saying. That's what we're in Genesis 2. I mean, we're in Genesis 3 right now. We're in Genesis 3.
To the serpent, yeah.
You see?
And yes, he's 3.
So you see it play out in chapter 25 on and on through the rest of the.
You're just going through the line of the serpent.
Go ahead.
Revelation 12:17, and the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant.
That's what I'm saying. And the dragon. The dragon. What's the dragon?
ancient Roman Empire.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So that serpent in Genesis, in Genesis is a serpent. By the time Revelation rolled around, it's a dragon. You see? Why? Because that line was never cut off. They grew into that.
Yep. That's a good point.
They grew into that. That's what I'm saying. A serpent don't be a dragon if you cut it off as snake.
Right.
It got to grow into that.
Mm-hmm. Man, good point.
He grew into that.
Beautiful point.
You see? Why? Because every time he was supposed to be eliminated, he wasn't. So the Edomites wasn't done away with. The Lord kept them around for the day of evil, man. Somebody get that in 16. What was that? Proverbs 16:4.
Okay.
He created the wicked and he created the righteous. That's what I'm saying. He created the wicked for the day of evil. The day of evil haven't came yet.
It's here.
It's here. You know what I'm saying? The day of evil is here now.
It ain't fulfilled.
You see? But that's what I'm saying. It's leading up. That's what I'm saying. He's still growing. He's still got a little bit more growing to do before he's smushed.
That's why he's likened unto Leviathan in Isaiah.
That's what I'm saying. Leviathan big as fuck.
They called him a piercing serpent, piercing dragon. That's that old serpent. That Then they called him a dragon at the time of the Roman Empire.
But that's what I'm saying.
Dragon.
If the Edomites would have got cut off, if they would have got cut off, it would have never been no dragon.
It makes that. I was going to add, if you read up, it makes that correlation in verse 9.
And
In what
what
chapter?
It's Revelation 12 chapter.
Okay, kind of.
Get it?
Yeah. Go on to it.
It's Revelation 12 and verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan.
That's the one you was looking for. I think.
That's what I was looking for
It
earlier.
wasn't one in 20 yet.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Because yeah.
That old dragon.
Yeah.
And that's talking about, and that chapter starts with the red dragon.
Yup.
What's that? Revelation 12 and 1? That's the Roman Empire.
Right.
Yep.
Esau.
Yep.
Esau, Edom, baby.
There you go.
I want to break down that word enmity.
Go.
It's in the blue letter. It's Ayab, and it says to be hostile to be an enemy of. And that's why the scriptures in Sirach, is it 12 and 10, it says never trust thine enemy. Because throughout all these different situations you're talking about, that same spirit has been an enemy to the Lord's chosen people.
They didn't let us get into the Holy Land.
A carnal mind is enmity with the Most High.
To hate, if you go into the lexicon or the Strong's definition, it even says adversary, to be an adversary. Thus, Satan.
Satan.
We just read in Revelation 12.
That's right.
Bam! It
Man.
all comes together, man.
Ow! Man. I'm about to put this class to a instrumental.
We need to do it as a lesson one of these days. You know?
God, that'd be dope.
Let's keep on reading.
I got that Proverbs 16.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, let's do that.
This is Proverbs chapter 16, verse 4. The Lord hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil.
There you go, man. There you go. That's what I'm saying. They ain't gone. They job ain't done. They job ain't done.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. They gotta finish the job just like Yahweh shall finish the job. They gotta finish it. You know? Keep reading. In Genesis.
Okay. Genesis 3 and 16 and 15. And between thy seed and her seed, it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
Hey, and when you go into that as well, bro, when it says thou shalt bruise his heel, that also means that, you know, what happened when Jacob and Esau was born? Who came out first? And what did Jacob do when Esau came out? He grabbed his heel. You know what I'm saying? It goes to that continual fighting that was going on. You know what I'm saying?
Verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
All right, go back up a verse, Salaki.
Come on. It says, in between thy seed and her seed.
All right, so you know that played out to be Jacob and Esau fighting in the womb all the way up to today, right? Okay, come on, let's roll.
It says, it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
Okay, what's that talking about? Let's get into that. Let's get the precepts. Let's line up the precepts to go with that right there. You know what I'm saying? Read it again.
Come on. It says,
There's one in the Apocrypha.
and between thy seed and her seed, it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
Right.
You go to Genesis 25, you know, like brother saying, when he grabbed Esau, and Jacob grabbed his heel.
There you go. Get it.
No. That ain't what that is.
Oh, that's
I
not.
just talk going into enmity. This is going to fighting.
Salaki, that was on me.
Yeah.
Right,
That's what I meant.
Read it again.
Okay, come.
It's just talking about
It says, I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise
And
his
who's
heel.
he talking to?
He's talking to the serpent.
He's talking to the serpent. So So he said, "It shall bruise thy head." Eventually, we're gonna crush the head of the serpent.
Yeah.
And and he's gonna be through.
Okay.
But it shall bruise thy heel, meaning the serpent will take us down. Because your Achilles tendon, if that's gone, you can't move forward.
Right.
You can't do shit.
Okay.
So it bruised our heel. If they had us down for a minute, and there will be a point in history where they would have us down,
Gone.
we would,
You can come back from it.
but we would eventually crush the head of the serpent.
Gone.
And get Harry, Psalm 68 and 14 maybe.
Yeah, Job said the life of the wicked is going to be put out too.
Because when you crush the head of a serpent, is the only way to kill it.
Mhm.
Like you said, they've been growing all this time because they ain't never been cut off.
They've been chop. Their tail been getting
They
hit.
can chop the tail off.
Yeah,
And they
it's gonna
keep
regenerate.
trying to live out.
It's gonna. That's what I'm saying. When you cut the tail off a snake, it regenerates. When you hit the head of that motherfucker, it's out of there. You know what I'm saying? So they've been regenerating and coming back and coming back and coming back until now. We're gonna have to smoke them hoes.
Psalm 68:21.
So
And then
Psalms.
somebody get a Habakkuk.
61.
68 and 21.
Read that.
This is Psalm 68 and 21. But the Most High shall wound the head of his enemies,
Wound the head of his enemies.
mm. and the hairy scalp of such a
The
one.
The hairy who?
And the hairy scalp such a one as goeth on steel in his trespasses.
That's Esau, man.
Sheesh.
He was hairy all over like a garment.
Right.
Spiritual. So the Lord, the way He's gonna take all heathen rule down is through Esau's fall.
Man.
We gonna eventually crush there. There ain't gonna ever be no more.
Gone.
You know what I'm saying?
Psalm 68 and 21.
What did I call for? Read that again, Brother Bishop.
So y'all can live stream it. Was that Tuesday or Wednesday? Well, not Wednesday. We're gonna have a meeting, but yeah, that could be the live stream too.
Psalm. Slacking. Verse 21.
Do it before the meeting or after. Just get it in.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
But the Most High shall wound the head of his enemies, and the hairy scalp of such a one as goeth on steel in his trespasses. The Lord saith, I will bring again from Bashan.
Habakkuk 3 and 13. So
Okay.
that's it. Yeah. Habakkuk 3 and 13.
Habakkuk 3 and 13, it says, Thou winnest forth for the salvation of thy people, even for salvation with thine anointing. Thou woundest the head.
Woo! Thou woundest the head. When we get salvation, who's gonna be destroyed ultimately? Esau's power structure is gonna be taken down. That's the fourth beast.
14.
Through the fourth beast falling, the Messiah coming. Go ahead.
It says, Thou woundest the head out of the house of wicked, by discovering the foundation unto the neck. Selah.
I got another one.
You hear that? It's going crazy out there.
You hear this word?
Something.
They know
That's right.
this word going out. Sirach 36, man. And this is one, but it ain't all of that. Sirach 36 and 10. Smite asunder the heads of the rulers of the heathen that say there is none other but we. It's Esau, basically.
Man. Sirach 36 and 10.
Yeah. But yeah.
What they have? It was Habakkuk 3 and 13.
3 and 13. Yeah. That's what that mean. Now read it again.
Psalm 68 and 21. Habakkuk 3 and 13.
Somebody look up that word heal. I never
Okay.
looked that up.
Thou winnest forth for the salvation.
no. Genesis.
Okay,
It
Genesis.
shall bruise thy heel.
Genesis 3 and 15, I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head. And
It shall bruise thy head. A woman is going to bruise thy head eventually through the seed, of course. It's going to happen in our time, starting with the Messiah, of course. Go ahead.
and thou shalt bruise his heel.
So thou shall bruise his heel. When your heel is through, you can't do shit. But you can be healed. You can recover.
Right.
Recover. Go ahead.
It says, verse 6.
Head injury, you through.
That's
If your
why I say
brain
that-
go fucked off and you
Right.
You're gonna be in the dust.
Yeah.
Yep, you're gonna be in the dust in that confused state.
Stephen Hawking. Go ahead.
Through.
I got the word heal, Elder.
Go ahead.
It says, Strong 6119, Iqua. It says, heel, rear, footprint, hinder part.
Your hinder part is very important to your base.
Yep.
You know, your base.
Yep.
When you boxing, what are you doing? You're on your heel. The base of your defense and your ability is right here. That
Coming out the blocks and track.
hella important.
Yep.
You play to do everything.
Play receiver. Your foundation, man. That's your base.
That's your base.
That's your base.
So that would be bruised of the chosen line, and the serpent would be the biggest forefront of that. He would be at the forefront of that. Like the falling away really happened through Esau fucking taking it all from us, man.
Mm-hmm.
So we were he bruised our heel, but we gonna bruise his head. That's what that means.
Calm.
Go ahead.
Verse 16, unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception.
Going into labor pains and birth pains and how hard it's gonna be to bring a baby into the world. That's a part of the judgment.
And the woman, the seed, will go through hell too. You know, Israel, chosen. Go ahead.
In sorrows thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband.
You know what I'm saying? Meaning you're gonna be under subjection. Get what's that? 1 Corinthians 11, which is how it was supposed to be in the first place. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like that's a punishment. You know, they got off under us. You know, that's what I'm saying. Through us, they get the kingdom. So you damn right they under subjection. Go ahead.
1 Corinthians 11:3, but I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach is Yahweh.
Go back to Genesis.
Come on. Verse 6, Genesis 3:16, and unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
That's what I'm saying. So the Lord was basically saying, look, the one time you got to open your mouth, you blew it. So you need to be up under your husband from her on out. So I'm set this order up. You know what I'm saying? I'm at the top, then it's my son, then it's the man, then it's you. Be quiet. See what happened when you run your mouth? That's what I'm saying.
In the kingdom of heaven, these women gonna be cool and they gonna be some cool.
And you gotta keep in mind, man. Somebody get Ezekiel 36 and 31 or something like that, where it's talking about how you gonna loathe yourself, because that's gonna trickle down to them too, man. They gonna know how wicked they was, man. They gonna know how out of order they was, man. They gonna be hella meek. You know what I'm saying? Just like we gonna be hella meek. We gonna be able to see our old transgressions. Somebody got that in Ezekiel?
Yeah, I got it right here.
Come on.
This is Ezekiel 36 and 31. Then shall you remember your own evil ways.
That's what I'm saying. That go for everybody that was evil. Everybody that did some hoe shit gonna be able to remember that.
Come.
Care who you are.
That's right, brother.
You did some hoe shit, you gonna remember it.
Right.
And you gonna recognize that. You gonna thank the Lord that you ain't in that state no more, man. That go to the women too.
They gonna have to reverence the priest.
There you go.
You don't know how Israel will be in order.
The actual Eve that did what she did with the serpent, where you think she ain't just gonna disappear?
Right.
She gonna read it again.
Come. Then shall you remember your own evil ways and your doings that were not good.
She gonna have to deal with that, just like we gonna have to deal. But the thing is, we gonna be righteous at the time. But you still gonna recognize that bullshit.
Right.
So it ain't no way she can walk. Ain't gonna be no chest poked out, nigga. That's gone. Gone.
That's right.
They gonna see that. They gonna see themselves in that state. Eve played a huge role.
Right.
Eve played a huge role.
Yeah.
Huge role.
Like, bro, you just chill.
Yeah.
You can't diminish Eve's role, man. It say through her we all die. The Lord said, y'all not gonna die. If y'all do what I say, the Lord said, if you eat of this tree, you gonna die. The serpent came in and said, no, you won't. And Eve said, you're right, he won't. She got to eat that.
Man. Straight up.
Keep reading. That's enough for Eve.
She gonna get
Okay.
For the second. We're gonna finish the chapter out there, we can get rid of Eve.
Okay.
Genesis 3 and verse. Genesis 3 and verse 17. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto
That's what I'm saying. And just because you listen to her, I want to say he had already got the serpent. What did he tell the serpent was gonna happen?
You cast out.
You're gonna be a low base man, but eventually your ass gonna stop.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Did not what he judged Esau with, did that not come true? The serpent? I ain't gonna say Esau yet, he wasn't Esau yet. But that's what I'm saying. What he told what was gonna happen to the serpent and his seed, did it not happen? How about Eve? Okay, now let's see what he got for Adam. Keep going.
And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife.
That's what I'm saying. If we coming in the stead of Adam, everybody in this room don't listen to their woman and got fucked up behind it.
Yeah.
Everybody in here. Go ahead.
It says, and has eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake.
That's what I'm saying. And since you listen to her, the ground, Adam came from the ground, and the ground cursed.
Right.
Think about that. Adam was made from the ground, and now the ground cursed.
Our own creation working against us.
Working against us, man. That's what I'm saying. Adam named everything. Adam named everything. Now apple ain't an apple no more, because the serpent see otherwise. Adam, what has thou done? Eve, what the fuck you do? That's what this chapter is about. And that's why we screwed.
Yeah.
Until the Lord come back.
I got that word ground.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Adama. And it says ground. It says as general, tilled, yielding sustenance, piece of ground, specific plot of land. It says whole inhabited earth, but it says land, territory, or country.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Man, bro.
I done. Through.
Yeah.
Eve. Through.
Yeah.
Through.
Yeah.
Through. You know what I'm saying?
But like you said, the ground was cursed and we came from the ground.
Mm-hmm.
That's the name Adam. Like the whole earth is cursed because we went off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that's get Hosea 4:1.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying, man.
I understand what you're saying.
If all that don't make sense to you, man, you ain't got the right teachers, man.
Right. Straight up.
This is what we was taught, man.
And now the man that's cursed from the earth is in rulership. And the earth, it told Cain, it said, the earth will not bring forth its strength to you.
Right.
And now this nigga got control of it. So the earth is low level ass.
Man.
We fucked up. Go ahead and read that.
We fucked up.
Hosea 4:1-3.
This is Hosea 4:1. Hear the words of the Lord, you children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of the Most High in the land. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood toucheth blood. Therefore shall the land mourn.
That's what I'm saying. All those things that he just named. What the serpent say? Thou shalt not surely die. They did all that. We did all that.
It's the same spirit of Esau now.
Keep going.
Come. It says in verse 3, therefore shall the land mourn, and everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish. With the
Because
beast.
the children of Israel went off.
Man.
That's because we ain't in our right state. The earth ain't in its right state. Go ahead.
Come. It says, with the beasts of the field and with the fowls of heaven, yea, the fishes of the sea shall also be taken away.
And we're reading about that.
Wow.
We're going into that, but we also have to bring out the fact that it's like that because
Right.
we went off.
Isaiah 24:6, therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left.
Right.
I said the people of his curse devoured the earth,
There
man.
you go. The
people of his curse, man.
rule the earth. That's
Yep.
the curse of the earth. God damn.
That was Isaiah 24:6.
Man, look.
Hey, what does it say in Proverbs? Somebody get Proverbs 30 or 3 and 33?
Oh, man, that's why I say, bro, we got work to do.
Yeah.
We got work to do.
Proverbs 3:33.
The curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked.
The curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked.
Man.
But you,
Yeah.
okay, curse.
The cursed man rules the earth. Read that in Genesis 4. Thou shalt be cursed from the earth.
Hey, Genesis 3.
Genesis 4.
Oh, I got it. This is Genesis 4:11. It says, "And now art thou cursed from the earth,
Cursed from the earth.
which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand."
So this nigga cursed from the earth. He rules the earth. Keep going.
Genesis 4 and
What did it say?
Or that was Genesis 4:11. It says, verse 12, "When thou tookest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength."
That's what I'm saying, man. That's why this nigga can make his own tomatoes.
The earth is not giving forth its full strength under his rule.
That's why you got GMOs.
That's why.
You got. That's what I'm saying, man.
Because the curse of the earth is moving.
Woo!
I'm telling you, I was thinking it. I'm telling you.
Bro, that's what I'm saying, man. All from that one conversation, man. That one conversation between Eve and the serpent, man. What's that scripture in the Apocrypha where it talk about how the tongue, the tongue can start a.
That's in
It can start a react. It can start a series of events.
This is in the 5th chapter. No?
That's what I'm saying. That one, your tongue can trigger a series of events, man. You know what I'm saying? Just by thinking a woman cute and saying what's up to her in the mall, man, gonna end up with you and children. With children.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it be a good relationship or a bad relationship. But you know what I'm saying? Just for the sake of the argument, that conversation ended up bad. That's
why the scripture said every other word.
You know what I'm saying? Sitting out alone with another man's wife. That's what I'm saying, man. Eve sat alone with the serpent.
James 3rd chapter.
I don't know where Adam was at then. It don't say where he was at. He wasn't there. That's all you need to know is he wasn't there. You see? All right, let's keep going. Did somebody have something they was holding, or we're going back to Genesis? Was that it? It's still. I think we got a little bit more in Genesis.
Genesis 3:17. Or Salakia. Verse 18. Or the end of 17 says, "In sorrow thou shalt eat of it all the days of thy life." Verse 18.
That's what I'm saying. So now Adam, I would say, so now instead of the planet working for Adam got to work for the planet.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's why all of us got to work now, man. We went from rulership. I would say we went from rulers to peasants.
Verse 18. "Thorns also and thistles shall they bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat thee."
That's why thorns and thistles represent tribulation and catching hell. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're in the husbandry, that's what I'm saying. When thorns and thistles come up, you got to get rid of those things so that the fruit can remain.
Oh man,
It says,
gotta preach.
I learned that from Undergun. That brother be planting his ass off. That brother be pouring peppers and mushrooms and shit. Go ahead.
"And thou shalt eat the herb of the field."
That's what I'm saying. You're gonna have to work for what you eat. You know what I'm saying? You don't work, you don't eat. That's what I'm saying. It went from the planet being made for Adam's sake to Adam having to get it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't meant for us to be in servitude. It wasn't meant for us to be working. It wasn't meant for us to be on the bottom. But since you listen to Eve and the serpent, that's what you get.
I got a quick one.
Gone.
This is Lamentations 5:4. "We have drunken our water for money, and our wood is sold unto us."
That's what I'm saying, man. Just what I'm saying. The water and the wood, it was put here for you. That's just like, you remember how you when you first brought it out how Adam came. It was like you said birds came before Adam did, and I was like I never could understand how that was to be. But that's what I'm saying. If everything was made from the ground and came up through the water and all that, that's what I'm saying. The birds had to come first because Adam had to have something to look up at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it finally,
paradise.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Everything was already here, and Adam just came up and was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? And then he was charged with naming everything and going in, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, yeah, people walking around just
Yeah.
You don't want to be the first person to get a conscience.
You know?
Yeah. I got a quick one on the thorns.
Come.
This is Just an example, 2 Corinthians 12:7, and least I should be exalted above measure through abundance of revelations. There was given to me a thorn in the flesh, a messenger of Satan to buffet me, least I should be exalted above measure.
That's same thing with Adam. Adam couldn't be exalted above measure at that time.
Right.
So the serpent was there to buffet him, man. That's what I'm saying. It was gonna always be that contention, man, because the Lord wanted to teach us everything, man.
Yep.
He wanted to show us everything. I was saying you can't rule if you don't know everything. You can't rule if you don't know what you need to know. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Eve and the serpent, with Adam at that time, that whole situation triggered a series of events to play out through the whole world, all the way up until today. You know? You had something?
That was it.
All right, let's go back.
Genesis
Trees
3.
are also older than man.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Because you got the creation. We can get into that probably next week. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. But the creation. That's what I'm saying. You got the first day, the second day. Man wasn't created until the 5th day.
Right.
Wasn't given order until the 6th. It was a lot of stuff going on.
Exactly.
You know, it was a lot of stuff going on. What you got,
I'm
Yaka?
just gonna back up. The elder said like trees are older than men because that's a measurement of time. You can measure tree rings
Yep.
to determine like how the number of years.
That's right.
Verse 19, in the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread.
That's what I'm saying, man. You're gonna work.
Woo!
You gonna have to work for what you gonna eat, man. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. All them overtime hours. All them overtime hours, waking up early and staying up late and doing all that shit for somebody else.
That shit vain as fuck.
That's what the scripture said. Ecclesiastes is vain to rise
Fuck
up
is
early.
vain, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Just look the fuck up and like, what the fuck?
It's right time to go back.
5 o'clock in the morning and shit. You all bugged out.
You
Like, how to get
gotta
up.
call in.
Yeah.
How you gonna make it?
Yeah. That's what that means. That's what that means. Read it again.
In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread.
Mhm.
You're supposed to be existing.
Yeah,
You're supposed to be having children. You're supposed to be just chilling, dog. Ruling, bro. Just
enjoying her.
unlimited amount of commodity. Ain't supposed to be no concept of broke.
Nah. Absolutely not.
I'm struggling.
Absolutely not, man.
Or working to pay your light bill now. What are you doing? Worry about that shit. Your woman ain't supposed to be having no job and shit. Working around the other niggas. What you doing that shit, bro?
What you got, Shar?
This is 2 Thessalonians 3:10. For even when we were with you, this we commanded you, that if any would not work, neither should not he eat.
That's what I'm saying, man. You went from that's what I'm saying. Somebody get that in 2nd Ezra 6. For the world was made for y'all sakes is around the 50s. The earth was made for our sakes, man. You know what I'm saying? And I was finna call it 2nd Ezra.
You say,
It's 6 and 56, somewhere around there.
con. That's the spirit.
You know what I'm saying?
Can we start at 43?
And Ezra was asking that question. Yeah. You can start all the way up there. Yeah, might as well get that meat.
2nd Ezra 6. And I started actually 49. I said 43. I meant 49.
Hebrew for today too.
It's lucky. This is 2nd Ezra 6 and 49. Then didst thou ordain to living creatures the one thou callest Enoch.
Enoch, you know what I'm saying? Learned man,
Right.
going into, you know what I'm saying, that same line. He was a part of the Adam's line. You see? Go ahead.
And the other Leviathan.
And the other Leviathan. You know what I'm saying? Leviathan is Enoch of the water. You know what I'm saying? He ruled the water. He got the understanding of the water. You know? When it comes time for animals, Aquaman is Leviathan. He control all that. Go ahead.
And did it separate the one from the other.
And then did separate one from the other, because both matter. You see? Go ahead.
For the seventh part, namely where the water was gathered together, might not hold them both. This is deep.
That's what I'm saying. Going into how I would say you got one. I would say the water and the earth is two huge entities, man. And he said a man over one, and he said Leviathan over the other. You see? We'll get everything else later. Read on.
Unto Enoch thou gavest one part, which was dried up the third day, that he should dwell in the same part, wherein are 1,000 hills, but unto Leviathan.
That's why I said, if y'all got questions about that, y'all gonna have to ask Elder Tahar.
What did he say?
I don't know what that means.
Unto Enoch thou gavest one part, which was dried up the third day.
Right, the man was made for the earth.
Okay.
The dry part of the earth, and then Leviathan was given the waters.
Yep.
Okay.
That he should dwell in the same part wherein are 1,000 hills. But unto Leviathan thou gavest the seventh part, namely the moist, and has kept him to be devoured of whom thou wilt and when. Fishing. That's what that's going into. Unto the sixth day thou
the waters. The
Yeah,
waters.
yeah. Unto the sixth day thou gavest commandment unto the earth, that before thee it should bring forth beasts, cattle, and creeping things. That's deep, bro. You know, evolution really just took this.
Yeah.
If you think about it, they say all the elements came from the waters. They really got that from the Most High. They just excluded the Most High from it. Because there was just millions of particles that came together. There was embryonic cells that nigga, shut the fuck up.
Who put all that there, bitch?
Well, if you look at the nigga, shut up.
Yeah, they came out of nowhere. They just formed.
Yeah, such a hoe ass.
Bitch ass.
Corinthians cussed that. It said there was one spirit seed given to a beast, one seed given to man, one seed given to fowl.
Right.
Yeah, so ain't no monkey grow the fuck up and turn into a nigga.
Right.
Tadpole.
You know how much faith you have to have in order to believe in
That's
evolution.
a lot of faith.
You
Yeah.
have to believe in that's simultaneously the mammals just came on the earth.
Literal blind faith.
In perfect conscious and mind.
Right.
Yeah, millions of
Cognitive functions.
yeah, billions of cells happen to get together one day. Out of complete utter randomness. Do you know how structured this body is, man?
Man.
This body is a phenomenon, bro.
Right.
It self-heals itself. You go to sleep. You don't have to make yourself breathe while you sleep. Why? Because it's innate. It's built in you.
Blinking. You don't even
When
think about
you
it.
scar, when you have get cut, your body naturally rejuvenates. You don't have to tell your body to do that. You don't have to focus your it knows what to do. That's ingenious. It's not something that just happens randomly.
Yeah, it didn't. Yeah, he wasn't waiting on the lawn.
Right.
Perfect order.
Man.
The hummingbird, the way its beak is made, is perfectly for this specific flower.
Hmm.
And the way that his beak is made, like if that flower wasn't there, he wouldn't be able to eat shit.
Wow.
It'd be harder, but it fits directly into that thing and he eats.
Unto the sixth day thou gavest commandment unto the earth.
There you go. 6th day. That 6th day, that life was breathed in the atom. That life was breathed in the atom, and that way that we going into in Genesis chapter 3. You know? Go ahead.
That before thee it should bring forth beasts, cattle, and creeping things. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him came we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen.
And the people that he has chosen. So out of the sons of man, the sons of the wicked, and the sons of God, he chose the sons of God.
Right.
You see? And he charged Adam. He charged Adam would be a head over all of that. Go ahead.
Time.
I was saying because he was over. Adam was over the sons of men. Adam was over the sons of the wicked. Adam was over all the animals. You see why? Because he had that weight. Go ahead.
And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord over all thy creatures, of him came we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. All these have I spoken before thee, O Yahweh, because thou madest the world for our sake.
That's what I'm saying, man. The Lord made the world. The Lord made the world for our sakes. He made the world for us. Go back to Genesis, brother.
Genesis chapter 3, verse.
You're going to have to till the ground. You're going to have to work through the sweat. You're going to eat bread.
Genesis chapter 3, verse 19. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread.
That's what I'm saying. The world was made for your sake, but you got to figure out how you're going to eat.
Crazy,
Go ahead.
in an apartment.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Till thou return unto the ground, for out of it wast thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return.
That's what I'm saying. So when the serpent say, "Thou shalt not surely die," what did the Lord say? Read it again.
Come. It says, "In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground."
That's what said. You gonna work until you die. I'm gonna work your ass to death because you listened to this serpent in your gal. When I told you straight up what it was, this is your punishment. So now you subject to Eve and the serpent, working until you die. That's the series of events that was triggered through the tongue, man. Did we ever find that precept?
James, the 3rd chapter.
Yeah. Let's get that real quick.
All right, this is James chapter 3, verse 5. Even so, the tongue is a little member and boasteth great things. Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth.
That's what I'm saying, man. That conversation, man. That conversation. To where the Heavenly Father had to send His only begotten Son to get us out this shit.
Just saying a lot.
Let's finish it up.
Verse 20, and Adam called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living. Unto Adam also and to his wife did Yahweh.
That's the mother of all living. The only way you living is if you got the Lord dealing with you. That's what I'm saying. She wasn't everybody, mama. You know what I'm saying? The mother of the living, man. That's what I'm saying. It was going through that line, man. Adam was the living. Adam's seed was that living seed, man.
Right.
You see? Go ahead.
Verse 21, unto Adam also and to his wife did Yahweh power make coats of skins and clothe them. And Yahweh power said, Behold, the man is become as one of us to know good and evil. And now lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever. Therefore the Lord power sent him forth from the Garden of Eden to till the ground from whence he was taken.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. They got removed from the garden, man.
You have to go fucking.
You know what I'm saying? We got removed from the garden. We got removed from Israel.
True.
You see what I'm saying? Nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun, man.
How would you break down this the 22nd chapter? I'm sorry. You know, they say that again, going into the how everybody was coming together during the first Babylonian Empire, when it says they should know good and evil, and they should basically become one of us and live forever. Like, what does that mean? Like,
What?
Genesis 3 and 22. Cause I asked, y'all broke it down that one I was talking about, alluding to the Babylonian empire later on in Genesis.
I think that us is talking about the Elohim, man. Like how in Genesis 1, when it says, let us make them in our image. Elohim, I meant, yeah.
Well, it has the actual name Lord right there.
What verse you in, Michael?
22.
Read it again. Read verse 22.
Knowing both good. I mean, we know that man, was only supposed to know good. Now he knows good and evil. Hey, that's the perfect energy of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, is the balance of good and evil.
To be a judge, you have to know good and evil.
Right. And now, lest he put forth his hand to take also the tree of life and live forever. So, the Lord basically put it in their heart to go off. From what I'm saying, it says now, unless he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and live forever, we ain't gonna live forever because we gonna go off.
Yup, 306 degrees of knowledge,
They're
wisdom,
gonna
and
know
understanding.
evil, you know. But in the flesh, they're gonna practice it. That's what I get out of it.
That's exactly what it is, from Adam to Yahweh Shah. That's why Yahweh Shah had the fullness of everything, of all knowledge, because he went through that his spirit went through that whole process. You know, in that incarnation, but from he knew it all, though, good, evil, just 360 degrees of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to know the perfect way.
I was saying that he had to go through those incarnations to get all of that.
to know to be obedient, because he know the ways of darkness.
He saw what worked and what didn't work, and you know what I'm saying.
And he
So
knew
by the
it
time-
perfectly.
Yep.
It's perfect understanding.
Yeah.
That's why he didn't sin in Jehovah, because he knew. That's why he carried
It
himself.
wasn't their time to get that perfect understanding.
Right.
Because that word lets me for fear that. So you cast them out. It wasn't their time to get that perfect understanding. You had to go through these incarnations.
That's right.
Incarnations.
God, yeah, we've actually experienced these, so we can expound more on it and why we need to refrain from it instead of it's just a fruit. You know, we actually been involved in that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
But it's for
experience.
a purpose, though. It's for a purpose, because like I said, a judge has to know good and evil. Why? Because we're going to judge the heathens in the kingdom. They not going to know.
Right.
We're going to have to still judge them. So we're going to still have to know wicked, because they're going to still go off. So we're going to have to know that way in order to execute proper judgment.
Right.
You're not going to be in their inward thoughts to know right and wrong. They're going to be doing shit because they nasty.
Going on.
They're going to be going
Like
off.
the Canaanites, they nasty. They some nice nasty niggas.
Woo! Yeah.
They into sacrificing children.
But if we just got the perfect way, that'll just be still going on. But
Right.
we got to know the other way too. To like, hey, you know, to make judgment.
Right.
You know,
that shit gonna get eradicated out the earth when I get mad.
Mm.
We get there, bro.
you're gonna keep the Passover. You ain't gonna be committing no adultery like the other nations, whatever you know they going
Standard.
on. Yeah.
Man.
I just got a question. So, like, where it says we clothe with, like when he was told, like, he gave him
Toasted skin.
coats. Is that talking about like wisdom? Or what is that talking about?
Read the verse.
Genesis 3 and 21. Unto Adam also unto his wife did Yahweh power make coats of skins and clothe them.
It seems like he covered them as his chosen. You know?
Yeah, that's what it's talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it written right here, their identity.
Yep.
Okay, come.
You know.
Look up that word skins. Because I have I think I know some precept that may go with it.
All right, that word skins in the Hebrew is going to be, it's pronounced iwar. And it says to hide. Skin, hide. And when you go to the root, hide, like hidden. It says to be exposed, and this is the root. The root is still, it says iwar. But it says to be exposed, to be bared, to be laid bare.
Iwar or war?
It says I
Okay.
right here. But yeah, it says just to be exposed or to be bare, to be laid and bare.
Yeah, hide. That's what I was thinking. Hide like animals.
Oh, con.
Like animal hide. Yeah.
Okay.
Like actual clothes.
Got you.
Ezekiel 36 and 10. I clothed thee also with broidered work and shod thee with badger skin. He's talking to Israel.
Oh, okay.
And I girded thee about with fine linen and covered thee with silk. That could be a precept.
Yeah, but that's going to how we were going off.
Yeah, but he was basically saying how he covered them. Like
Yeah.
badger skin was like if you had a badger jacket back then, that was like some fine leather.
Thick covering.
Yeah.
Ezekiel 26.
Less is basically. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
This precept right here take me to Revelations 19 and 8.
Because
Says,
though
seek
though
righteousness.
Adam and Eve was fucked off, they were still covered.
Right.
The nation was still covered as the chosen.
Oh, that's because you think about it. He said that was said right after he gave them all their judgment. I'm gonna fuck y'all up, but I ain't gonna get rid of y'all. You see what I'm saying? That now the identity still gonna be there, but I'm finna kick y'all's ass.
Right.
You see, that's what that's going into.
Con.
You know what I'm saying? Because he just told her that she was gonna have hell bringing babies into the earth and all what she was gonna do. Adam was gonna have to work and deal with all that. He said what the serpent was gonna have to do. You know what I'm saying? But when it concerned Adam and Eve, that covering is still on y'all.
Right.
Y'all gonna have to get back to me though.
Right. Yeah.
You see? And it's gonna take these generations. It triggered a series of events that be all the way up to today. That's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. Them events ain't done. till the Lord come back. That's what I'm saying. We still in the story.
Right. Con.
Like we said earlier, it's still stuff in Genesis that ain't happened yet.
Right. Mind if I bring up a point? That reminds me pretty much when we went back, how after they ate the tree of knowledge, he said, you shall also eat from the tree of life. You know what I'm saying? That tree of life being that word. Just laying back on what you're saying, Elder, that's, you know, that tree of life that we have right now. You know what I'm saying? He's still able to cover us with that.
We got a precept, bro.
Con.
Shit, we can pretty much end it off.
Yeah, because this we've been going like 3 hours. I know brothers, y'all still in the game.
That's
I'm in the game.
Learning like a
We
hoe.
started like 3:15.
Yeah.
Dang.
First Corinthians
Or
15 and
3:30.
45. 1 Corinthians 15 and 45. And so it is written, the first man, Adam, was made a living soul. The last Adam was made a quickening spirit.
Mm-hmm.
That backs up Romans the 5th chapter,
There
the
you
12th
go.
verse, when we started reading that.
Yeah, I was shy.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
There was one more verse on the
Yeah, finish it.
25. So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the garden of Eden cherubims
I think so.
and a flaming sword which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life.
You ain't even gotta break that down.
Can you imagine that, bro?
They told us
You understand that?
that was. I think that was literal right there.
Yeah, me too.
That was literal.
That cherubim's an angel.
Yeah,
I'm saying.
you got kicked out.
Whoo!
Got kicked out of the land.
Yeah, and you look at it spiritually, we're in that position right now. We can't go back to that land. If we go back, you got to end up wearing yarmulkes when you go to Jerusalem, and you got to end up going into that military. You got to denounce your Habashah. Exactly.
According to the law of return,
Mm-hmm.
you can't believe in the Messiah and go back to that land and
Wow.
claim that you're a Jew.
Woo!
So that's represented. That's
Yeah.
represented.
So we through.
Yeah, man, he placed it. He placed his sword up in that mug, man. Edomites are up in that thing.
Bro, we've been going for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Like 2.5 since like 3:35, something like that.
15 more minutes would be 3.
We've been going
That's
for
a
a
long
while.
class.
Have to meditate on
Bro, I was
One chapter.
Bro, listen to that again tonight.
That's the
banged
spirit
out.
that you
The
put
water.
on wax, bro. Or put that
The water.
on
And I got all these scriptures. Bro, look at all these scriptures.
Allah, y'all,
These are awesome.
like Ariella always say, man, we have excellent teachers through the Spirit, man.
Man.
You cannot deny that.
Right.
So I got like 4 other lessons through the Spirit, you know.
The water elders. That makes sense.
Man, yeah.
Yeah,
that was dope.
I needed that.
That was dope.
If you don't know Genesis the 3rd chapter,
It's offering time.
That'd be $8. Look at that.
Fight come on tonight too. I don't got cable anymore, but we could probably brothers got the streaming. I know y'all brothers kind of with those.
Oh yeah, that's me. I'm
Y'all
gonna
can make something happen.
Ooh, man.
This motherfucker.
Please hurry up and send that, man.
Oh, the water.
I couldn't take notes.
Salak.
I was learning while I was teaching, bro.
It got hot out. That was kind of that was a crazy ass class. That shit went to a whole other level.
I got
That shit was too much.
I got understanding, bro.
yeah, it's a lot.